Welcome, Capricorn, to your Tarotscope for March 2016. This reading is for you if your sun, moon, or rising signs are in the sign of Capricorn. I'm continuing to focus on the collective energy of Capricorn as I shuffle the cards. It's my intention to look forward into the month of March 2016. Alright, so the first card we're going to talk about here is how you're feeling heading into this new month. And we have the Two of Pentacles. I feel like for many of you, it's been a real balancing act lately between the things that you really want to do and the things that you feel are obligations. And I think sometimes it's a little confusing because even sometimes the things that you want to do, the things that you love to do, sometimes those things do feel like obligations in certain circumstances. So for you, it's really about finding balance and making sure that you spend equal time between those things that are obligations, because sometimes we do have obligations in life. That is part of our lessons here. But also making sure that we balance those obligations with the things that we're passionate about, with the things that we love to do, with pleasure, with rest. And sometimes I know this is hard for a lot of Capricorns to allow ourselves to have that time where we're not necessarily working on anything, where we're doing something solely for pleasure. So there's been a lot of learning lately surrounding this idea of balance. Card number 2 is going to talk about your general forecast for the month ahead. And we have the King of Swords. So this is going to be a month of self-discipline. I feel like kind of returning to this idea of balance here with the Two of Pentacles, there has been a struggle, and perhaps you find yourself not doing either, not doing the things you feel like you quote unquote have to do, and not doing the things that you want to do or you want to do for pleasure. And because you're not doing either one of those, you're stuck in this place of not doing anything, almost like just a stagnant energy. You may find yourself browsing the internet for an hour and then kind of kicking yourself afterwards like, oh, I could have actually made use of that time instead of wasting it away. So now this King of Swords energy comes up as your general forecast for the upcoming month of March. And what this King of Swords is saying is that this is the month to exercise some discipline. So if you're going to have time for pleasure, have time for pleasure. Give yourself fully up to that. And if you're going to have time for work, then focus on it. Commit to that. Agree to spend this time solely on the work that you need to do. So if there's any projects that have been hanging over your head, or you've been making a list in your mind of, oh, these are the things I'll do later, well, the energy is available for you this month if you wish to tap into it to put your nose to the grindstone and really exercise that self-discipline, that commitment to these different projects. I think for many of you, the choice is going to be made to really kind of have that talk with yourself and to also listen to the way that you talk to yourself and use that as a means for reflection. Use that as a mirror for more learning and growth. Card number 3 is your upcoming challenges. And we have the Fool. I love this card because I really see the pattern of growth here. We have this struggle with the Two of Pentacles, and the King of Swords I see is almost the decision. That's the turning point. That's the conscious decision that no, things are going to be different now. And then we have the Fool, which is the difference. It is the decision has been made, and now we have the new beginning. We have the starting over. So that's the challenge here this month, is to start over. And I feel like this is going to happen in multiple ways for the majority of you. Primarily, I think the Fool card is referring to When you feel like you've made a mistake, when you feel like you struggle with this balance, and maybe you do find yourself out of balance. It's pretty typical for Capricorns to be very hard on themselves after they feel like they've made a mistake or they weren't good enough. So I feel like this Fool energy is saying leave that behind. Allow yourself the chance to start over. If you've had one bad day, well, you can wake up tomorrow and have a whole new start. And of course, that is a conscious decision on your part. So that challenge here is to make that conscious decision to want to start over and also to give yourself up to that faith that if you're making a new beginning for yourself, perhaps some of you are moving into a new job or you're physically moving, you're relocating, moving into a new home. Maybe you're making new friends or starting some sort of class or group. Well, the Fool is really a card of naive trust. It's a card of innocence. It's really believing in the universe to take care of you, to look after you, that all your needs will be met. And for you, I feel like the challenge is to bring that energy of complete faith and trust in the universe into your daily life. Give yourself up to the universe. Have that trust that even if things seem out of balance sometimes, that they will find equilibrium. Everything will come to that place of balance in time when it's appropriate. So trust that the universe is looking out for you, and even though you may not understand certain circumstances that you find yourself in, or you feel like you want to be out of a situation, but again, that sense of obligation is coming back. Trust that you're in this situation for a reason, that there's something to learn from it, and there is a means for growth and higher learning in it. Card number 4 is your good fortune, blessings, and abundance for this month. And we have the Queen of Wands. I love the Queen of Wands coming after the Fool because the Queen of Wands is saying, yes, you will tap into this energy. You can even see some of similar colors here with the yellow and blue. We definitely have this theme of light blue in all of the cards, which to me really connects us to the throat chakra, which is the chakra of speaking our truth. It's the chakra of expression. So I do feel like there are parts of you that you have suppressed or denied because you felt like they didn't fit into those obligations or it didn't fit into that idea that you've created for yourself, of yourself. So the Queen of Wands is really, she's an outgoing personality. People recognize her, they see her, she's quite popular, she's well liked, she's beautiful and inspiring, and she shines like the sun. And for you, I feel like this energy will just come naturally to you this month. You will be inspiring to others, you will be that leader that others seek. And I feel like a big part of it is because you're going through this challenge of accepting this Fool energy into our lives. Sometimes we intuitively know that new beginnings are coming, and it can be very scary, it can be daunting because we don't necessarily know what area of our life this new beginning is coming into. So for you, I think there is that challenge to accept that you don't necessarily know. And with that acceptance comes a really, really big sigh of relief, a more carefree spirit, giving your worries up to the universe. Maybe you don't know how you're going to pay your bills this month, or maybe you don't know where your next paycheck is coming from. Or I feel like for a lot of you, you are struggling with more tangible things like money or career, because we did start with the Two of Pentacles over here. But the other cards are much more higher energies. We have swords and wands and the Fool. So I feel like the answer here is to just let go of that material focus. Give that up to the universe and trust that it'll all just work its way out. So the blessing here with this Queen of Wands energy is that when you give that up to the universe, all that energy you were using to worry about what might happen or how you're going to achieve certain things, now that energy is free to be transmuted and to come back to you as new usable energy because it's not being sucked into worrying or being concerned about certain situations. And others around you are going to see that you are just filled with new energy and new vitality. And I think a lot of people are going to look up to you and really going to admire this change that's been happening in you. Card number 5 is this month's lessons, and we have the King of Wands. So again, we're tapping into this fiery energy. The King of Wands really goes out and makes things happen. He's very passionate, very creative as well. So you're really being asked to tap into this creative side of you, this side of vitality, of higher energy. It is an active energy, however, it's not as an overwhelming energy. I really got the sense with the Two of Pentacles here that you've been on this loop lately, just going back and forth, and it's very overwhelming to be in that sort of loop. So the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, and even the Fool to a certain extent, it's taking step forward, it's taking action, but it's taking action from the heart. It's taking action from the soul. So it's not so much those obligations, it's and maybe it is the obligations, but it's approaching it from a point of view or a frame of mind where you want to move forward from, where you feel inspired to move forward on these projects, on these situations. So I feel like there is a great deal of reframing that's going to go on this month, taking situations that you're in and choosing to look at them in a new way where you can feel that energetic connection through your heart, through your soul, so you can move forward with them into the future. So this concludes your Tarotscope reading for March 2016. As always, it was an honor and an absolute pleasure. If you're interested in a personalized reading, please check out the link to my Etsy. You'll find it in the description below. Have a beautiful rest of your week.